show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about
Gottingen station, the noise of distorted announcements, whistles blowing, people hurrying past. An eventful trip, missed trains, late planes, unbooked seats, frayed tempers. Could she find her way home? The signs pointed one way, but she pointed another. She looked up at the ancient station clock. Its huge numbers danced before her eyes. There's no place like home, she whispered. And as the music began to play, the huge fish revolved slowly, bubbles bursting from its open mouth. She wished.
The door in the station wall had looked so enticing. It had seemed substantial, official even. The man who stood by the door had seemed polite, cheerful, engaging, but empty of meaning. He offered nothing that could aid her choice as to whether to go through the door or carry on out of the station. Was the door a distraction, a route, or a destination? Was her home just through the door? Would she step through the door, past the man, and see the place that made her heart warm? Or was it a distraction, a wrong turn, a dead end? Did it lead to the wrong platform? Or would she see her route home, her path laid out in shining steel, stretching ahead of her?
At last, she grasped the door and stepped through and found herself in an open space. The ground didn't look safe, but the blocks were firm and steady. Step from block to block, she heard the voice of the fish in her head. And as she raised her eyes, she saw that the blocks led to railway lines, and the rails curved away, up and round and into the trees and away. That must be the way home, she thought. The rails will take me home. She leapt from block to block, closer and closer to the home-going rails, until, crack, she grazed her shins on the buffers. How to get onto the rails? How to follow them home? She tried to grip and climb the rails into the treetops, but she kept slipping back. At last, sore and breathless, she braced her arms and legs between the rails and inched upwards, slowly, painfully, up and up into the trees, until... "Help! Save me!" she shouted as she began to plummet to earth. "It's okay, I've got you," said a voice, and a pair of strong arms caught hold and stopped her headlong fall. "Hampton's my name. Don't worry, these newfangled devices do work. We'll be down as light as a feather in no time." Overhead, she saw the parachute, but on the ground she could see a brick wall and they were fast drifting into it. "Look out!" she cried, but too late. They crashed into the base of the wall and she rolled over and over, dazed. When she looked round, no man, no parachute, only the wall. Or was it only the wall?
Nobody ever saw the yellow bird arrive. Where does it come from? Where does it go to? Most people said the bird didn't really exist. It was just a local fireside story. They said if you saw the bird, you should listen to it. It would help you on your way. Well, there it was, on the wall. From the corner of her eye, it seemed to wink. How could that be? And surely it had turned around. Wasn't it facing to the right when she first saw it? Now it was looking to the left. Perhaps home was that way. So she turned to the left. As she walked, behind her she heard the beat of wings and a burst of bird song. It warmed her. Finally, she smiled.